Oh, Lord. There is no Lord. Okay, this is Sir David the Bard. I'm out of captivity. I was in a damn hospital. They had me chained to the emergency pumps. Now, it's ridiculous. I wish I could just damn die. You know, when you're spending this much money and this much time keeping one person alive, it's like Dick Cheney. How many hearts has he had? How many hearts can he get? He's not worth keeping alive, and neither am I. Neither am I. I love you guys. You know that. I love you to the end of my life, which it was closer this weekend than I thought. I told you, I have no pain. I've never had pain. I've had a toothache, that kind of thing, but I've never had any pain. And I realize what a blessing that is, because so many of you write in and have terrible diseases like heartache and stuff. I don't have a heart, so I have no heartache. The Tin Man, was he looking for a heart? I don't know. Anyway, I'm walking along, 285 pounds walking. I've been walking that way for, 4 years, 5, 8 maybe years. And suddenly, the calf. Now, I don't mean the moo-moo calf. I mean the calf of my left leg goes, screw you. I've worked enough. I'm retired. I go, whoa! And I'm falling down like a fool. I'm holding down the guardrails, and I'm pulling myself along. People go, you all right? I go, yeah, this is the way I walk. God damn, I'm not all right. I said to him, calf, anything I could do to talk you out of this? No. Goddamn. All right, calf, listen. Is it because I'm driving too much and bending you 12 hours sometimes in a car? It could be. Is it because I'm drinking too much Coca-Cola? It probably is. Is it because I'm too damn fat and you've been carrying? That has a lot to do. I go, God, is there anything I can do? And he goes, call on Jesus. I'm not calling on Jesus. Wrap garments on me. I'll feel better. No, I'm not wrapping garments on you. Pay me, lay me, ail me. No, I'm not going to pay you, ail you. Well, maybe So, I can't walk. Now, there's a lot of things in life that as you get older, you can't do. One of them is under the blanket right here. There's things you have to adjust to. There's just men and women, we all have to adjust to the things in life that our container wears out. I'm good. I'm inside the container. The guy that built the fucking box is an idiot. That's why I don't believe in God. This is the best God could do. 70, 80 years and you're totally, in a rotten, dilapidated box that he built. Let your God build your boxes. This God, he's fired. He's fired. Anyway, I tried to get along for a couple of days, and like I said, I've never been on pain medication, so I didn't know Aleve and all these other kinds of things that people have. I'm ignorant. So my wife says to me, well, here, why don't you take 2 of these? And we bipolar people, if 2 is good, 12 is really good. It's the way we feel, but we know it ain't right. So anyway, I started taking these pain medications. They didn't do shit. It's like Jesus. Help me, Jesus. He didn't do shit. It's like I wasted my money on the pain, and I wasted a lot of money on the Mormon church. Jesus, help me. No, I'm not even going to say a word to you. You're on your own, boy. So, the story is long. I can't walk. I can drive, so let me tell you something. If you get on an airplane, you put your baggage up, and you look down, and there are 2 guys carrying the pilot onto the plane, and he's got one computer here keeping him alive. nose, oxygen, and a leg that looks like a tree. I would hold on to my suitcase and go, "Are you alright?" He goes, "Yeah, I can fly, just can't walk. I can't eat. I can't take a crap, but I can fly." I say, "Sir, I'm going to go ahead and get me another kangaroo. I don't trust you. I don't trust you." But, you know, they're carrying me out to the car. I'm going like an old man, like I'm 110 years old, dragging one foot behind me, kind of like in the old Western movies, I've been hitting the foot. So they start to put me in the car. It takes 4 of them to shove me under the driver's wheel. Now, let me tell you, if these were white, delightsome Americans, they would never do this. But they're all Filipinos, so we can't drive. Let the white man drive. They don't have any idea how much turbulence and danger their life is really in. So they get me behind the wheel, and once the car starts, hey, I'm ready. I can drive for days. And the thing is, I can't get out anymore to go pee-pee. Now, so I just always wear shorts, and I always buy a McDonald's cup, and I always have one available for the pee-pee. So as long as the back window's rolled up, you're okay. I stop now because it stains the hell out of the side of my new car. So the pee-pee, I stop pee-pee, in it goes, and turbo is gone. So I can drive forever. Now, while I'm driving, you gotta feed me insulin, test my blood constantly. 15 medications here, and now there's going to be another 3 with Mr. Leg. Glucose tablets, hard candies, and a lot of prayer cloths. It's not worth it. Let me die. Wherever I'm going, I'll be funny there. Even in outer darkness. The Mormons will laugh at me in outer darkness. No one can see me. But I'll have a show. I'll be up on stage telling the Mormons, hey, we all made it to outer darkness. Let's party. Anyway, I go over to the doctor. And I'm sitting here thinking, should I go over to instant care or over to an emergency room? Now, here's my thought process. And here's why I would like to die. I said to myself, it's a holiday weekend. This is a Labor Day weekend. What kind of a doctor am I going to get on a Labor Day weekend at an Instacare? Probably deaf, probably blind, just got his license back the 3rd time. And he's drunk in the back room, and a little nurse's assistant's coming out with a stethoscope on, making me think she's the doctor. Well, I hate to spend the extra money. Damn, you know, you go to those little Instacare places, $300-400. You go to the emergency room, it starts at $900. Well, I better spend the extra money. I kind of like to know from a real doctor what's going on. Okay, so I go in, takes me in, says, you can't walk. I said, did you see me coming in? He said, yeah, I did. You can't walk. I said, okay. Can you fix me? And he said, well, come in the room here. We're the bed is $700. What is this, a Marriott? Do you have any porno? I'm laying in the bed. Now, God save the king. God save the king. My father-in-law is one of the most admirable human beings I've ever met. I mean, I feel like he's my brother. He's my father. He's my son. This man has a loyalty and a love of the world that I couldn't have possibly had coming out of the Philippines. This man has been hungry for over 70 years of his life. He goes over to the emergency room with me. The rest of my family goes, fuck you. We're going to sit here and have Grandma's birthday. You go over there, do whatever you got to do. So here I am. It looks like I have this little rented Filipino man Like, what do they call those men, butlers, you know, where they dress you and everything? He is so good to me. He is so good to me. He goes everywhere with me, like a son, like a 2-year-old son, with admiration. When I'm in the car, he cleans my glasses, sunglasses, and always, always. He's always, and then hands them, and he's always handing them over. He cannot do enough for me, and I've never had that. I've never had. That's why I could care less that my mom's dead. Mom didn't clean the glasses. That would have been a big job for her. But anyway, he is just one hell of a human being. And for me to die in this last years of my life with him in my life, there's very few people I want at my bedside when I die. Jesus ain't one of them. And the bishop is another one that ain't going to be there. Mercy, my 2 girls, and he and his wife. He is the most gentle, kind human being I've ever met. So anyway, we go over to the hospital, and he can hardly understand anything in this country. They don't have computers. They don't have electricity. They don't have an outhouse. They have nothing. And he is very courteous and very polite to all the American people because he wants to learn, and he's happy. He's ecstatic that he's an American. So we go in the room, and I told you, he's never had a dollar in his life. Never had a dollar. I got him a little credit card, debit card, and we've been putting a little bit of money here and there when he does work around the house. He's kind of like a Filipino man. I don't know what it's like, but he needs money, and so I give him some of my money. And he has this plastic card, and when I got it for him at the bank, he goes, "Who steals my money?" I go, "Ty, in the United States, no one can get money out of your card." "How do you know?" I don't know how I know. He says, "Do you have a secret number?" "Yes." "Does anyone know your secret number?" "No." "Then they can't get your money." "Oh, okay." So he keeps his secret card and on him all the time, and he likes to have a little bit of cash, $20. So we're sitting there at the hospital, and the lady comes in. I said, "God, how much is this going to be?" She said, "How many zeros can you count?" And it's the typical lady that collects your money. No sense of humor. No funny. Funny is not there. And so when I said to her, "Where's your AK-47? It's right here. Do you want me to crack it open?" No. "You want to pay this now?" Well. "Do you want to pay this now?" Allison, this wonderful little man, he's only about 5 feet tall, pulls his credit card out. "I will buy." I can't tell you how that made me feel, and feel today, 2 days later. He has nothing. First time he ever had money, and he was willing to spend the deductible, the $50 on me. He had no idea this was $900 or $1,700, but he was going to spend his money on me. I've never had anybody that has that kind of devotion, ever. I've always cared for everybody else. I've always seen to the health and welfare of my family and people who are not my family. And for him to just pull out his credit card, the first one he ever had in his whole life, the first one that only ever had $50 in it, and was giving it to the hospital, insisting they take his money. I'm glad I lived. I'm glad I lived long enough to know there's one of you out there. There's one of you out there that's worth me coming to the earth and associating with. He's never seen a hospital. Never. Never seen a hospital, or a doctor's office, or a dentist, or eye vision. And he's sitting there, they're the most courteous, polite people in the world, the Filipinos. They are not confrontational, and they're just sweet. Sweet human beings. That's the English word. They're naive, they're sweet, they want to please everybody and everything. So he was sitting there in the chair with Allison. Allison's my nurse. God damn, I'd be dead 10 years ago without my Allison. As soon as I had to get up and get out of this house, she ran over to me and put my arm on her shoulder because she knows I can't balance. And a little tiny child holding me up so I don't fall. She nurtures me more in the 13 years she's been alive than my mother ever nurtured me in 80 years of her life. The lady with the AK-47 came by and said, "How do you want to pay this bill?" And I said, "Well, usually I just sneak out when you're not looking." She says, "I know. That's why I'm going to stand right here until I find out how you want." And Allison, pay the bill. Allison goes to the phone, gets all the credit card numbers from her mom, gives them to the lady, pays the $50 deductible. And she sits down. They're both sitting there, and of course, in an emergency room, that's what you pay for, sitting. It's a very expensive place to sit. Well, the lady comes in to do an ultrasound. Now, I've been around ultrasounds because I have 14 children. I can tell a boy from a girl when they're not in the mother. In the mother, I can't see. Is that? No, that's the girl. I don't know. So I know an ultrasound when I hear one and when I feel one. So the lady took an ultrasound from my crotch, and I go, it's working. It's working. Don't worry about the crotch. She said, "No, it's not your line." I go, "Okay, do it." So anyway, she's taking the little thing and putting Vaseline on it, I guess, and going down my leg. And I said, "Well, this is the best sex I've had in years." So anyway, for $900 it was cheap. She goes down and she goes, "Now, my father, my in-law, my fake father, he is the most curious 2-year-old you will ever meet. He is like a sponge. I don't care what you put him in front of. He detects it, he looks at it, he takes it apart. He's like a brilliant scientist that just never had a chance. Never had a chance because he was stuck in the Philippines. So he's just learned to touch the computer on my navigation in my car, and he can now talk to it. And his accent was so bad it couldn't understand him, but he keeps going, and he does not give up. And finally, the navigation system now understands him and says, "You want to go to Kangaroo City?" He goes, "Yes, take me to Kangaroo." He's got it, and he's not afraid of it. He was afraid of cell phones. He's afraid of computers in the house. But he now understands touchscreen computers. So the lady's there, and she has this walk-in robot computer thing. And I'm hooked up to hoses and IV. I've been there before. I'm dying again. But please, let me finish it. Pretty soon she's doing all this imaging and making recordings. And suddenly I hear this nip, nip, nip. I said, "Is that an emergency light?" She says, "Yeah, you're not getting enough oxygen." I look over. Ty is touching the goddamn screen, and he's killing me. I can't breathe. Oh, a shock. No insulin. Get your hands off that fucking screen. "Oh, me, make mistake?" I go, "Yes." Sit down. So the lady leaves, And then he comes over, and like a nurse. He's got the most gentle touch. He's an artist. And I mean, he has the touch of an angel. There's no doubt about it, the way he touches people. And he was helping me. You know, I'm 285 pounds or whatever. And he's trying to help me back in the bed and puts the bar up. And he just can't do enough. He just can't do enough. And then I was going to put my shoe on, and he ran over, and he got my shoe and was putting my shoe on. And then the doctor came in. Now, you know, I don't want to be banned from the hospital, because someday I may need it, and someday they may be able to save me, which I don't want to be saved. So, the doctor comes in, and I say, "Hi, how are you doing? You're the real doctor?" And he goes, "Well, I'm not a real doctor." And I says, "What are you?" "I'm a nurse's assistant." I said, "You know what? I didn't go to Instacare because I wanted an MD, a medical doctor. You're not a medical doctor. You are a doctor's right-hand man, asshole. You can write prescriptions. You can say you're sorry. You can say, I don't know what it is. That's what regular doctors do, but you ain't a real doctor." Well, I consult with him. I said, "This is $900. I didn't go over to Instacare because I know I wouldn't get a doctor. I would get well, you can't do an RN, a nurse practitioner." "And that's what you are?" He said, "Yes." I said, "I don't think you know shit." He said, "Why don't you let me take a look at it, and I'll let you know." I said, "Hey, that's a good idea." He looked at it and said, "Shit, I don't know what's wrong with it." That's what I knew was going to happen. The Bard is a prophet, and I don't even have a rock yet. I'm still looking for a magic rock. So he says, "Well, you don't have a blood clot." I said, "That's a good thing." He says, "Yeah, it is." But I said, "This needs to be fixed. I can't walk. You understand what I'm saying here? That if it was here, I'd be okay, because I can live with this. With no leg, I can't live without. It's hard to get into a car with no legs. Some of you do it." Anyway, he says, "Well, I'll consult with the real doctor." I said, "Bring his ass in here. I'm paying. Bring him in here." This guy that looked like a damn cartoon character. This is the weekend. Those good doctors are not going to be there. They've been off for 4 days. They're going to be off for 7 or 8 days. So they call the guy in that still, he hasn't lost his license, but he's going to in the next 2 weeks. You know, he's now my doctor. And I looked at him and I said, in my mind, "You don't look like a doctor. You're not acting like a doctor. And me and you are probably not going to get along very well." So he said, "Well, I don't know what's wrong with it." I said, "Okay, that's an honest statement. Could you recommend me to a doctor that has enough medical experience to fix that?" Well. You said you can't do it. And I said, "By the way, would you adjust my bill? Since you don't know what it is, it's no better when I walked in and walked out. What did I get for $900? Well, if you went to a car dealership and they put parts on your car and the parts didn't work, you'd pay them." Now, as soon as he says that to the Bard, I know I'm going to get banned. The next sentence, I'm going to get banned. And Anna, I don't want to be banned from the damn hospital. And Allison, anyway. My mind came to my mind and said, "David, you're going to get banned. You're going to get banned. Shut up. He's an idiot. You know he's an idiot. And you know what? He knows he's an idiot. But he doesn't want anyone to tell him anymore." So I said, "Well, this is not a brain. It's not as complex as a brain, the calf of your leg. And it's not as complex as my open heart surgery. This is the calf of my leg. It's like my big toe. You can get along without it. It ain't the end of the world. I said, well, you're right. I said, how complex can it be? Well, I don't know. So he says, let me give you some pain medication. I said, okay. I went out like a light. And I'm laying there in the emergency. It's 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and I'm laying, and the bed is not even laid back. I'm laying on the bed. My face is up on here, not my back. And they see me hanging there like a monkey. They said, we got him. Don't even go in there. We'll ban him. If he says any more, we'll ban him. So pretty soon I wake up. Why are these things happening to me? And I'm gonna barf. Now, there's a sink there, but I'm so sick, I can't get over to the sink. So, I say to myself, where do you barf? In an emergency room. So, the lady with the AK-47, she's guarding my room. She walked, lady, help, help. She goes, what do you need? I need a barf bag. Oh. As fast as I ever saw that woman move. Even if you're paying her, she doesn't move that fast. She brings me this really neat barf bag. They're round now, and they're red. Well, they kind of look like a horse condom is what they look like. So I'm sitting there with this barf bag. I'm barfing, and the medical guy comes in. He's not the doctor. He's my doctor, if you know what I mean. The nurse practitioner, he says, how are you feeling? God damn, I can't walk. I'm throwing up my guts. I don't trust you people. There's not a human here that I trust other than my father-in-law there, okay? Well, we're going to give you some prescriptions. And I said, okay. Now remember, I'm a driver. I have to drive. And he said, well, you're not going to be able to drive tonight because we're going to give you some Oxycontin. I said, oh, Jesus, there is a God. I had that with my heart attack. Boy, that's a good medicine. And I said, you know, the pure Oxycontin I do well on. I had no side effects. He says, well, we're going to give you a mixture. And I said, well, all right. That's what I was throwing up, is the mixture. So he says to me, now, you can't drive home like this. You'll get a DUI. Okay. Who's going to drive you home? I looked over at Alice and well, we got a couple of choices here. Let's make a deal. There's a 13-year-old girl. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. She could be the one. Or you can go to door number 2. A little Filipino man that has a Filipino driver's license but's never driven a car in the dark in the United States in his life. And then there's me. Which curtain do you want? He goes, well, it's liability. I said, cover your ass. He said, yeah. I said, all right, I'll call my wife. So I sent Allison and Grandpa back home, and I had to sit there for another hour. And so I don't usually do this kind of shit, but you know, it's 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. People have to go to work. And goddamn, if I died, you know, nothing's going to change the next day. They still have to go to work and just drag my body down to the morgue. And we got the bard. The Mormon bard just came in. And there's a tag on his toe, finally. And the Mormons, praise to the man who communed with the rock. Anyway, I said, listen, is it okay if I just go outside and stand out there and wait for my wife? And they go, oh yeah, sure, no. Because, see, I've left AMA. Against medical advice, I can't tell you how many hospitals I've left under AMA. And there's a video back, it's pretty damn funny. The one where I tried to kill myself in Evanston, and I fell in a ditch, naked. The doctors and the nurses are trying to get, I'm going home. No, you're not. Get in here. So anyway, I go out by the car. I look around. I can hardly stand up. I can hardly stand up. I don't see anyone, even Jesus. He wasn't there, so I snuck into the car. I'm underneath the steering wheel, but it starts. And then I just start to ease it out of the parking lot. Now this is a DUI about to happen. Don't do this. Don't do this. I was just stupid. There's no other word for it. Stupid. That would have cost me $10,000 in my license. It was the middle of the night. It was only 5 blocks to get home, and boy, I talked to myself and watch the speed limit. Don't go too fast. Don't go too slow. Signal, you know. So I finally drove myself home under a DUI situation, and I come in, and it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. So everybody wakes up in the house this morning and says, "Y'all want to go to the hot springs?" That's where I want to go. Maybe I could drown there today. So I drive them. To the hot springs. Pain. But like I said, you guys have pain all the time. I don't until this. So I go up there and I get in the hot springs, and that's supposed to be, the Indian cure. Well, let me tell you something. The reason the Indians didn't win the United States, they were sick. Hot springs is not a cure. Get a doctor. Well, anyway, at the hot springs, I fall down because my leg won't support me. Now, there's like 200 people there. I'm the oldest bastard there. And I'm crippled. What are you looking at? Nothing here. Move on. Don't pay any attention. But the man behind the curtain, move on. And McAllis is dragging me. Mercy's dragging. And my faithful father-in-law, he's just there like a guard. He's like those guards over in England, have the hats on them. Faithful to the end. He goes and gets my stuff out of the locker for me. He comes and makes sure I have my shirt, so my computer doesn't tangle in my guts. He is the most faithful, wonderful human being in the world. And I went into Walmart to try to get, some medical things. And he got lost. He gets into, like a little boy, he loves to look in the boxes, and things are just, it's a new world. He's never seen this many things in his life. So I couldn't find him. And the bard, who gives a shit? He'll find his way home, won't he? I hope. He walks in the Philippines, he can walk in the U.S., right? I go out to my car. There he is, standing right beside my car, protecting it, and waiting for me. I'm upset about this leg because of my family. I don't care if I'm crippled. Jesus, who cares? I can sit in this chair and enjoy myself the rest of my life. But I can't work or help my family at all. That upsets me. That really just breaks my heart that my poor wife is working, my kids are working, and everyone is supporting me. I don't want that. I want to help. And that son of a bitch is broken. I'll have it cut off. I'll have it fucking cut off, and I'll get me a wooden leg there if I have to. Bard the pirate. I'm going to do the best I can to take care of my family because of the example this man sets for me. He's never tired. He runs everywhere. And he said to me very gently, "What about exercise?" Well, I slammed him up against the wall, slapped him a couple times, and said, "You speak too much English. Shut up." No exercise. So anyway, what a wonderful thing to have such a loving human being in my life. He's that way with my girls. He's that way with my wife. He's that way with every human being he comes across. And sets an example of loyalty and patience and patience and patience. Always gentle-spoken, never raises his voice. I mean, this is like a god. And he's a hell of an example to me. As long as he keeps his fucking hands off of the computers. When I'm in the emergency, don't push the computer. Sit down. Beep, beep. I can't breathe. Well, tell him to quit now. Okay, sit down, Ty. I can't breathe, man. Oh, okay. Now he understands the breathing part. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know, I'm not dead, but damn, I'm getting close to it. We decided a long time ago that, to go to a nursing home at my age, not unusual, but I have to lose all of my income, and I have to take my name off of all the cars, all the houses, all the other things. I have to have zero to go into a nursing home for the government to take care of me. Well, I don't want to do that, and I want these people to have the income that I have coming in. You go into a nursing home, you have any income, Social Security, retirement, whatever, it's going to go into the nursing home, and this little family will have nothing. So I said, make me a chair, make me a light. Oh, you see Alpha and Omega, I don't know, you can't see them. I got a new light up here. Looks like a spaceship. I said, leave me at home. Nurse me at home, let me die in the chair. And until I smell really bad, don't tell Social Security that I'm dead. It doesn't matter to them, because if you cheat them, they're just going to take the money out of your Social Security. So anyway, just a joke. I am not trying to get you to steal anything from anybody. So I'm going to die in the chair here, and a lot of people, I have one, I'm not going to go into that. So anyway, be careful of the hospitals. I did tell the one doctor, the pre-doctor, the nurse's aide guy, he comes in and he says, well, I don't think I can fix that. And I said, hell, get me a pair of garments, wrap it around that, and I'll walk out. It'll be a Jesus. He's laughing his ass off. He's a doctor, and he's laughing his ass off, because he knows that ain't going to. I said, set it on fire. My whole body will burn everywhere except the calf. He's laughing and laughing. Oh, God. So anyway, the spa didn't help. If you're an Indian, you're going to have to go pale ale. Oh, God, hear the words of my mouth. They're going to scalp us and send us to the desert reservation. And the name of the second token of the Melchizedek priesthood, the patriarchal grip, or sure sign of the nail, under the penalty of having my throat slit and my heart torn out and my guts torn out, is health and navel, mirror in the bones, strength and willingness, and his power and priesthood be upon me and upon my posterity through all generations of time and throughout all eternity. I was driving by the Salt Lake Temple yesterday. No. I let Ty drive once. Okay, now it's not 9 hours from Salt Lake City to suburbs of Salt Lake City. It's not 9 miles. Anyway, he drives by the temple, and here's this Mormon just strutting like a racehorse. I got nothing to lose. What, are they going to put me in jail? It'll cost him $10,000 a day to support this body in jail. So anyway, I go, how's the cult? He turns around, I go, how is the cult? Have you seen the rock? The Joseph Smith rock? Oh, God, that's strutting. That bastard. He's going to get away from me. Bastard. So every time I drive by this Salt Lake Temple, I'll put down my sunroof, and I play hard Michael Jackson, and I get the finger, and then I yell, Colt. They go, shit, it's just David, let him by. Let him by. That's just the way he is. So anyway, I wanted to let you know, yeah, I'm dying piece by piece, but so are you, and I still try to have a good mood about it. I'm going to get up from here, and you know what they told me? I'm going to tell you the truth here. They told me, if you don't stop drinking Cokes, you are going to die. Everything that came up on your blood test shows you're drinking way too much Coca-Cola. And I do, all day long. They says, you stop that, you might live another month or so. A month? Is that worth it? Anyway, I'm making a resolution to stop drinking the Coke. I love the caffeine in that Coke because it keeps me alive. But boy, I had a strong lab. Took every test in the world, and it said, you're drinking too much Coke. These are down, and these symptoms are up because, and that leg may be partially a result of too much Coca-Cola. So anyway, praise to the Lord, if there was a Lord. This bar's gone.